You know, I tell you this, the favorite teacup that I have is perhaps not the most attractive teacup that you've ever seen in your life, but it is my favorite. And it's from George's home. When I was first dating Brad, these were the cups that we would drink coffee out of. And I just loved them because whenever I saw them, it reminded me of my growing love and affection for Brad and his family. And so when she was about to change over China or whatever, I was like, oh wait, can I have one? Well, sure, but it's my favorite because it reminds me and connects me to my past. But with Georgia, you know, she doesn't have those distractions. She could care less about Facebook or Twitter or any kind of social networking. All she would love to do is to sit down and have a cup of coffee and chat for a while. She doesn't evaluate me by my busyness or by anything wonderful or crazy that might be going on in my life, but just the times that we get to simply be together. All she wants is to be there. And that's enough for both of us. I think in addition to turning off distractions, we need to realize that time is fleeting. We know this, don't we? I mean, it's cliche. Savor the moment. Time is fleeting. We all know that the older we get, the faster time flies. It may be cliche, but it's true. My grandmother, Agnes Sma, is no longer here. My mother is very ill. And my mother-in-law, well, my mother-in-law, Georgia, she just runs circles around me, so. But we all know that time is fleeting. We all know this, so we need to embrace the now. We need to look into the eyes of our loved ones and ask ourselves, what is it that we see? I think of my grandma every day because her soundtrack is now mine. After she passed, I took her cuckoo clock. And just this year, I finally paid up the money to get it fixed. And I just love the tick, 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 tick. And it shocked me, you know, when I first put it on the wall, this noise, the noise that marks that time is passing. We don't have those kinds of noises anymore, do we? Time passes quietly in our digital age. We don't have a sense that time is passing. But this reminds me, and when it cuckoos every half hour and then on the hour, it reminds me another half hour is gone, another hour is gone, another hour is gone. What have I done with it? Not only do we need to turn off distraction and know that time is fleeting, but I think finally we need to forgive. Life is too short for us not to forgive. And if we hold things against one another, it will keep us from loving. In fact, it's not possible to hold a grudge and to love at the same time. We don't hear too much about forgiving our mothers, do we? We don't talk about it. But many of us perhaps need to, because there's the thing. There are no perfect mothers, and there are no perfect children. We stumble, we fall, we make a holy mess of things, we overact, and we worry. You know, for years when my mom got divorced, my parents divorced when I was a late teen, and there was a lot of pain associated with that, and a lot of things that I needed to work through and to forgive. And we don't need to go into those stories now, and I imagine that I need to ask for forgiveness as well. But I had this great visual this morning as I was thinking more about forgiveness in particular. I was in the bathroom getting ready, my small bathroom, and there was this ginormous fly, huge, like the biggest fly I've ever seen, like a bumblebee of flies, was in this room with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where did that thing? This thing has been alive for 20 years. I'm going to kill this sucker. So I got my little, spotter out, and he's buzzing around, and this thing is so big. I hope there are no PETA people in the room, but this thing is so That thing was ugly. And sometimes those things that we need to forgive, they ping against our minds. They fill our minds with negativity. We swat at them, we play them over and over and over again. They hit the same things over and over again. And sometimes we just really need to set it free. Does it still exist? Probably. This fly is going to be alive forever. But it's not bothering me anymore. It's gone. I've set it free. Yes, children will remember our idiosyncrasies. But most of all, they will remember that we were there. They will remember that they held our attention, that they captured our hearts, that we laughed with them, that we pulled them into our laps, that we were delighted with them. They will remember our hands, how we used them to love, to work, to hold, to create. They will remember our eyes, if we give our eyes over to them. They will remember what we smelled like, whether it was fresh bread dough, or rhubarb pie, or Chanel No. 5. They'll remember how we fed them, whether it be fresh cookies or corn pops. They'll remember how we loved them. If we are there, they will never forget. And here's the beautiful thing, it's never too late. If we turn off the distractions, if we realize that time is fleeting, if we truly can set things free and forgive, it's not too late. When we do, we will experience the kind of life that I truly believe we are destined to live. And we will be the kind of women and men, the kind of mothers and fathers, the kind of grandmothers and grandfathers, the kind of sisters and brothers, the kinds of friends that we are truly meant to be. Thank you.
We should always remember the examples that we are setting for our children, the words that we say, our actions, and above all, to always express love to them.